This is week 4 where I'm sharing with you what you can buy in a supermarket. So obviously, if you have a VIP package, you most probably go shopping with me to Alnatura. And this is what you will buy in there. And here I just summarize why. So in a previous videos, you saw that I am fermenting and sprouting. So fermenting is the vegetable which I usually buy. It's for the probiotics, and sprouting is for the enzymes, digestive enzymes. So just to repeat, digestive enzymes, it's like scissors that are breaking down the large molecules of food into tiny, tiny pieces so that you can easily absorb it. So everything that you eat, you absorb in a small intestine, and everything that you cannot break down and absorb is going to go to the bad and good bacteria in your large intestine, in the bottom part of your intestine. So if you don't digest well, they are going to have a party and they will create lots and lots of gas. And that's why you might be farting and you might have cramps. And that's what you don't want. Or maybe you have even anemia because you are not absorbing the vitamins and minerals from the food. So by sprouting the seeds, you can increase the amount of digestive enzymes in your stomach, which helps you to break down the food. And it's very easy to prepare it, it's even for busy people. So you buy this glass and you can buy variety of all these seeds. So I buy mung beans, and I will show you the package of the mung beans. And I sprout them and I add them because it's a large source of protein, into salad or nearly every meal. So I go through phases when I'm sprouting every single day, and then maybe for like 1 month I will not do it at all. So this is basically the machine with all the seeds that you can buy. And then if you are, for example, vegan, or if you have anemia, if you have constipation and you want to say goodbye to gluten, which means eating flour, pizza, pasta, you need to look for alternative flours that are actually high in protein and that are not containing any gluten. So I usually recommend linseed flour and hemp seed flour. So the taste is not brilliant, I have to say. So when you are starting with it, you mix it with a buckwheat flour, right? So buckwheat flour or maybe oat flour. And as you adjust to it, you increase it more and more and more. So buckwheat, you can use it in an online course. I was showing the recipe how to make it as a risotto, but you can also turn it into the flour, but you can buy the flour on your own. This is what I buy as an alternative chocolate for my children. So I don't recommend it for adults. This is a really good vanilla. It seems expensive, $17.99, but it's 15 grams and you have it for like 1 year. Yeah, so at the end, it's not expensive at all. This is a milk rice that I use alternative for my children for breakfast. So never breakfast cereal for your children anymore. Just boil this rice for like 25 minutes, let it steam for 10 minutes. You can do it even evening before. And then you sprinkle some chocolate and put maybe spoon of honey, and they absolutely love it. Cinnamon, vanilla, it's the best breakfast. And I alternate with millet as well. These are the mungo beans that I buy for sprouting. And usually I have this for maybe like 6 months, because you use for sprouting only 1 to 2 spoons because they become really massive. This is the buckwheat flour that you find in Alnatura. This is kind of like an alternative of a dry fruit that I would recommend. So you know from the module 3, which is about digestions and bloating, that I don't recommend high amount of fructose. So this fruit is actually low in fructose, and if you mix it with almonds, it's quite a nice snack when you go camping and so on. This is my favorite tea, and I recommend it if you want to increase the detoxification. So detox is the week 4 of the course Eat Clean, Get Lean, and we will learn why you need to detoxify. So nettle and what is this? Dandelion in English. This combination is really good because it's like bitter. It even helps the digestion, but the taste is brilliant. Green tea, remember, you drink green tea only after lunch, only after this main meal, never in the morning, because these tannins, what they do, they are cramping the stomach, which can cause a pain. And also green tea is lowering the blood pressure. So you might actually faint or feel really, really sick if you drink green tea on empty stomach. The same goes with a black tea. Yeah, you should never do it. And you should not drink it in the evening because it keeps you awake. So it basically competes with the melatonin, the sleeping hormone. Okay, so this is to the shopping. And let's move, if it allows me, to the next picture. It still contains shopping because I want to tell you how I support farmers in a sustainable way. So there is a crowd farming company, and you can order directly from the farmers. So price-wise, it is not cheaper, but they deliver in all Europe. It's the same price like in a supermarket, but you are helping them to live their dream and working on their farm. And this is all organic and sustainable. So I, for example, buy kiwi that come from Italy or from France. So I live in France. So I buy always only from the countries that are around me. So if you would want to look into it, it's crowd farming, and I highly recommend it. It looks like this. Yes, this was amazing juice. Okay, so now back to what you can eat and why. So you know that we need this trio, which is a fiber, fat, and protein. Salmon is really fatty fish. And you can actually see that when you buy a salmon, if it's a farmed salmon, you will see these stripes of fat are much larger. And that's what you don't really want, because it was like inactive fish. If you buy wild salmon, you will see that there is not actually as much fat, but it's high in omega-3. So if you eat fish, this would be a large portion, because remember, for measurement, we are using the palm. So if I use my palm, this would be 2 palms, so 2 big portions. 1 palm is 25 grams and 25 grams of protein, and it's a large, yes? And then here I have kale. So kale is a brassica family, like cabbage, like broccoli, like cauliflower, that contains sulfur. So it's helping to detoxify the liver. And it's actually very high in fiber. So you can see how fibrous it is, and you can steam it. You can even boil it, and actually it takes quite a long time to make it digestible. So even though kale is a superfood, it's not something that I would buy very often because I would love it so much. I would probably say that broccoli is easier to digest. So what I buy also in Alnatura is herbaria. So it's the spices from herbaria, because when I researched it, everything is organic. There is no added extra sugar. There are no hidden stabilizers or chemicals. They are using like a pink Himalayan salt, and they have really nice combinations. And if you are not cooking so much and you don't want to combine different flavors, buying this package, I think it's €6. And again, it might sound quite a lot, but remember that you use only 1 spoon with a meal, and you might have it for 6 months, right? So €6 in 6 months, like 1 coffee in Starbucks. It's a good investment. These ones are my favorite. And if you were in Alnatura with me, you know that I buy them. So these are tortillas, carrot and beetroot. And if you look at it, like why I buy it, it's because it's very low in carbohydrates. Remember, if you want to lose the weight, if you want to become a hybrid car, therefore using the energy even if you don't eat, and that you can actually stay without food for longer. If you want to avoid chronic disease, decrease the inflammation, Alzheimer's disease, reverse pre-diabetic state, if you have increased glycosylated hemoglobin, this would be the choice of food. So first of all, you eat it in a cold form, you don't warm it up, and it's 4 wraps. And you can fill it, as you will see in other pictures, with any source of protein, avocado. So when you look at it, let me see, it doesn't show the other side, but you can see that it's gluten-free, It's low in carbohydrates. So each tortilla has only 4 grams of carbohydrates, which you know it's very low because one plate of pasta has 70 grams of carbohydrate. Yeah, it's quite a lot. And even buckwheat that I recommend has 60 grams of carbohydrate in one portion. So it's still carbohydrate. But this is very low in carbohydrate and it has soluble fiber. So psyllium husk. Maybe in a previous video you saw that I use psyllium husk in a water and you can drink it, or in smoothies, because it expands in the stomach and basically sends the signal to the brain that you feel full. So these tortillas also have a psyllium husk, and therefore it makes you feel full for longer. So this is how I do the batch cooking. Obviously only in the season, because if it's winter I buy only frozen vegetable, and you will see it in other videos how I cook with frozen vegetable. But if it's summer or spring and there is plenty of vegetable, I buy everything and I grate it in the machine, and then I pack it in these plastic, I know it's plastic, but plastic individual packages, and I store it in the fridge. And then everything is prepared, and when I'm cooking breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's ready in 5 minutes, and I don't have to reflect about it. Yeah. So here is another example of breakfast. So you see this is 3 eggs. So 3 times 6 grams of protein, which is 18 grams of protein. There is avocado as a fat. There is a raw onion. So with raw onion, or this is actually shallot, so it's a little bit like a sweeter, but it is high in quercetin, which is fighting the bacteria. So it's like anti-inflammatory, and it's improving the immune system. So for example, if you have any autoimmune disease, and you are like after for example any like antibiotics, and therefore you need to increase the probiotics and prebiotics. This is a prebiotic. It's feeding the bacteria in your intestine. But it has inulin, which is a soluble fiber, which is causing bloating. So you have to be very careful whether you eat onion or not. And it's dose dependent. So maybe if you have like 1 piece of onion, you will be fine. And if you eat all shallot or 2 shallots, you will be bloated. But remember that this bloating is caused just because the prebiotic, that the bacteria are working for you. And then tomatoes. So again, if you have any rheumatoid arthritis or any autoimmune disease, you shouldn't eat tomatoes. You shouldn't eat any vegetable that is nightshade. Yeah? But if you are healthy, and especially if you are a man, tomatoes are a good choice for you. Even though tomatoes, the lycopene is activated only after cooking. So whenever you are eating raw tomatoes, you are not going to absorb any lycopene. But you are going to have other vitamins and minerals like beta carotene, and you are going to have vitamin C. Yeah? So it still has a benefit. And in a vegetable, you can see, so when I was preparing the batch cooking, I grated the zucchini and courgettes, zucchini and carrots, and that's what in the vegetable, because in every plate, you must have at least 3 portions of vegetable, at least. And here I have 2 handfuls of cooked vegetable and 2 handfuls of raw vegetable. So it's 4 handfuls in one meal. Here are the tortillas. I'm just showing you the pictures. So this is for omnivores. It's chicken. If you are grilling the chicken, and then you can again pack it into individual packages, and that's how you prepare it. So you open the tortilla, put there some lettuce from the back, because you buy it in a supermarket. You put there the pieces, the chunks of the chicken, and you can put there any sauce. So if you had a course with me or a VIP package, you have access to the 140 recipes of the Functional Medicine Cookbook. And when you look into it, there are 5 different dressings, and some dressings like with tahini and what is it? Pomegranate juice. It's a delicious dressing. And if you put it over the chicken, it's going to have really nice. Or you can even marinate the chicken in it to give it that extra flavor. And you can easily have 2 tortillas. So it's ready in 5 minutes, even under 5 minutes. Yeah, that's how it looks on the plate. Here is another variation, how you can use this tortilla. So this is with the probiotic. So this is the cabbage that I was talking about in a previous video, fermented cabbage. which has no sugar because it was eaten by the bacteria, but in return it has butyrate and short-chain fatty acids that are feeding the cells in your intestine and therefore creating the energy. And I have there cheese. So this is Comté, it's a French cheese. It's a large chunk, so it's very fatty. So it's concentrated protein because it's aged cheese, and there is no lactose in it because it was also fermented, and there is lots of fat, right? It's 30 or 40% of the fat in this cube. So combination, fiber, because it's in the tortillas, there is the psyllium husk. We have their fiber also from the carrot, and we have their fiber from the cabbage. We have their fat and protein. It's a brilliant combination. This is another example of breakfast. So I have there, this is butternut squash and spinach. So you can see that each cube of the spinach, frozen spinach, is one handful, so one portion. So I have 4 portions of spinach and at least 2 portions of a butternut squash. So butternut squash is carbohydrate because it's high in carbs, right? It has starch in it, but it's high in beta carotene, which might be converted into vitamin A, and it's fiber. And then, of course, what's missing there? Fat and protein. So once this is cooked, I would have to add eggs or tofu or fish or some source of protein and some source of fat. So again, olive oil, ghee butter, cheese, any source of fat. Here, another variation, you can see that whatever I prepare on Saturday or Sunday, I'm eating almost all week, but there is so many varieties. So this is a chicken, carrot, spinach. Here is the tortilla with beetroot and cheese, and that's how it looks. Here is a variation of cucumber, tomatoes, 2 eggs, and feta cheese. So you can see very often with clients, I see when they show me, oh, I eat carrot. You put there 2 slices of carrot. Carrot is only water. Sorry, the cucumber. Cucumber is only water. That's, you can have whole cucumber when it comes to it. I eat the whole cucumber because if you have ever tried to juice the cucumber, it's actually 200 milliliters of the water of the juice, right? And then you have a little bit of the pulp. So when you break it down in the stomach, imagine that your stomach is going to break it down. It's 1 glass. It maybe seems to you big when you are buying it in a chunk, but put it into the machine, make a smoothie from it, and you will see it's only 1 glass. So don't be worried of eating whole cucumber because it's only water. And again, remember, you want to become metabolically active. The biggest problem when people are losing the weight is that they eat less. But when you eat less, your body will go in a saving mode because we'll think, oh, no, we are not eating. Therefore, I'm not going to utilize the energy. I will not spend, right? So it's not spending. So it's significantly harder for you to lose the weight. But if you give the body work to do, which means chewing the cucumber, breaking down the cucumber, eliminating the water from the cucumber by increasing the filtration of your kidneys, producing the digestive enzyme. So the cucumber that has 15 calories, you utilize maybe 80 calories to break it down. So that's how you lose weight. You lose weight by eating more food. This is another variation of the tortilla. You can see that if I buy it, I have it nearly every day. So with eggs, cottage cheese, vegetable, and tahini paste. So if we count protein in this meal, it's 1 egg, 6 grams, 100 grams of cottage cheese, which is 10 grams. So it's 16. And then I would put there 2 spoons of tahini, which is 6 grams as well. So you need to get to a certain amount of protein in every single meal. And this is so easy to have at home, and it doesn't require any cooking. It's in the fridge, ready all the time. That's how it looks. Here is another variation. It's actually melted mozzarella and pesto. But of course, I need to put there some vegetables. So definitely I did put there some vegetable. This is meat and vegetable. So I was just like showing what the healthy combination could look like if you eat meat. This would be a really nice combination, for example, for a breakfast or for the snack, and even when you are traveling. So let's say that you go camping and you cannot cook anything. So remember, 2 portions, right? Because it's 2 pieces of kiwi. Kiwi is brilliant. It's low in carbohydrates. It's high in soluble fiber because we have there these seeds. It's very high in vitamin C and quark. So quark is basically cottage cheese, fromage frais, which is concentrated protein. So this is 250 grams. That's what you buy in Germany. And it has 20 grams of protein. So, and it has also some fat, right? So you don't want to buy, so this is actually Magerstoffe. So this is low in fat, but you would preferably want to buy the normal one that has fat in it. And you can add 1 handful of pumpkin seeds, which would be 4 grams, and it's high in zinc. And you can put there cinnamon. Yeah, so this would be a really nice combination for even snack, let's say. Here, another combination. So these are protein wraps with chia seeds, and you can warm them up in the oven, microwave, under the grill, whatever you are using, and they become nice and crispy. And you can fill it, for example, with mozzarella or cottage cheese or eggs or fish or cheese, or if you have it in the oven, you can maybe roast tofu and chickpeas, and you can mix it with the chickpeas and tofu. Just remember that these 2 are bloating people because it's on a FODMAP. It's highly fermentable, and therefore it's producing gas. Yeah, so chickpeas and everything that is made out of chickpeas, like these balls, what is it? Falafel is made from chickpeas. It's going to bloat you. Hummus is made from chickpeas, bloating everybody. And it might cause irritation of the intestines. So you just have to be careful. Here I want to show you the Christmas cookies, how I bake them, and they are made out of buckwheat flour. So it's butter, raw sugar, and buckwheat flour. So still, you need to bake for Christmas. This is another combination of a high protein and fiber. So this is skyr mixed with raw egg. And I know it sounds really strange, but in the Czech Republic, that was very popular to mix raw egg into the like skyr or cottage cheese, tvaroh it's called. And then you can either bake it if you are worried of raw eggs. And once I was doing research of whether the raw eggs, because the bodybuilders are always using raw eggs, whether it's any more beneficial than a cooked egg. And actually the research showed that is the same, right? So if you don't like raw egg, but it's actually nice and creamy, don't do that. You can add there vanilla, grated coconut, kiwi, and you can add there any of these powders. So I buy them on Amazon. This is a collagen. Obviously, it's an animal product. It's a collagen from bovine, so from bones and from the skin. And there is elastin, which is from the skin and from the bones of fish. And then there is hyaluronic acid. Yeah, so obviously not for vegans. And then this company is also making immune elixir, which actually has xylitol, which is bloating, and it has like some vitamins and minerals. Look, I bought it once because the flavor is quite okay, but I probably wouldn't buy it again. So that's enough for now, and let's go in a next video to look at other combinations.